Good morning. Come on in the room. Glory to God. Made me want to shout this morning. Give God some praise. He woke you up this morning. You on Facebook Live. Won't he do it? Invite your friends this morning, because this is morning tea and allegations. Won't he do it? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. This is your host, Petty B, and I'm here with Morning Tea and Allegations. Now, I just want to let you guys know that, when I sit here and I tell you guys, people lie, receipts don't. And, I be saying that over and over and over again. And, some people listen, some people don't. But you know what? One thing that you can't say is you can't say that I lied. You can't say that I wasn't telling the truth. Again, I go back to the receipts. And I go back to truth. I go back to transparency. I go back to accountability. All the things that I have been talking about. The three principles in life is accountability, transparency, and integrity. Now, it's just so disheartening. How you doing, Shake Washington? Good morning, Shake Washington. I'm glad that you on here because I will be talking about y'all race in a second. So I hope that you stay on, Mr. Washington, because this is gonna be good. I think you're gonna enjoy this conversation. So make sure you stay tuned, Mr. Washington. So thank you. So for those of you that are watching, school board members, people that are in District 5, y'all might as well come on in the room so that we can have this conversation, okay? And again, I just want to let y'all know my Facebook page is not a democracy. I'm not here to be fighting with y'all, playing patty cake games. The only thing is that I'm here for the kids. I want to give a shout out to my woman, man, Julia. Okay, thank you for everything that you do for the kids. Okay, she is phenomenal. She is a SEL superstar, and I'm very proud of her and everything that she's able to accomplish. And I know that she will be making amazing things. So you'll catch this on the replay. Love you. Stay safe out there. And again, tornado warning, because God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. Bill Person, good morning to you. Bill Person is running for school board District 1 against Steve Kona and Ben Florida Man Green. Okay, and there's going to be a candidate forum for them too in the upcoming week after we get done with District 5. So I'm going to talk about that in a second, but let's go ahead and get started with our church announcements. Amen, amen, amen. So first of all, I want to get started and say making sure that you guys register to vote. For those of you that are in Hillsborough County, the supervisors of elections posted this on social media, and I want to continue to share it with you because it's important. Please make sure that you register to vote and make sure that you vote by mail due to the fact that this pandemic is not going to ease up anytime soon. Everybody's out at the beach, this, that, and the third. They're not practicing social distancing, and clearly they don't care about people getting hurt out here. The line wrapped around the corner at Mr. and Mrs. Crab. No one had a mask on. So like I said, y'all keep playing. But when y'all continue to play, make sure that y'all match that same energy because people ain't going to help you and bail you out when you out here playing these little stupid games. Okay. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with my disclaimer so we can get to the tea this morning. Amen. Amen. Thank you, church members, as we have additional announcements that requires your full attention. I report the news, so please don't try me with the copyright. In addition, my Facebook page is not a democracy, and I am not Michelle Obama. If you get froggy with me on my page, don't expect me to go high and be the bigger person. I will clap back and sage later. # don't try petty B. This episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is the best way that you can securely go on the web without your information being tracked. Stay private with a VPN and go to the link www.biancagoolsby.com/VPN. It's a 30-day free trial, so there's nothing to lose. All Bets Off is a new movement in mood for 2020. You have exclusive merch available at biancagoolsby.com/shop. If you want to save 15%, use coupon code BET. This is so good. Okay. So all bets off, okay? All right, moving forward. For those of you that missed the update in regards to Blake High School, the football shed was set on fire. They are investigating for possible arson. A lot of that equipment, basically what I was told, the coaches, people had donated money. I don't believe that this will be covered under insurance, so this will be a loss for that football program. So I am sorry to, the football players and to the coaches that donated so much and gave so much to their players. That might not be covered under insurance. They will be inspecting it today, but there's a tornado warning, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But, prayers to the coaches and the players, because sometimes that's all that they have. One of my students that I advocate for is actually a football player at Blake. So I reached out to that student to make sure that he was okay. And he was upset with the news, obviously, because, that was their life. And in some players, that football is everything for them. Is life or death for them, and that's unfortunate, but that's the reality of it. And so just uplift our children, the ones that really believe that football is their only way out, and that's because they were programmed that way and they were told that and they were conditioned that way their whole life, and they have this belief that they can't do anything but use their bodies to play football. So again, I pray for the young Kings in this situation, that had to hear this news. And also, I hope that the person who did this is caught and is held responsible, because that is just out of order. The next thing is that there was an 18-year-old that was shot down at Curtis Hickson Park downtown on Saturday night. Okay. And there was a fight that was going down hours before. And like I said, there's videos surfacing on social media of what took place. And again, I go back to this. Who are your children looking up to? You see people recording it. There was a deadly shooting. People, literally recorded. This young king's body was laid there and people recorded it. And it goes back similar to the situation where in, school, where the kids will have fights, they will pull out their phones and they were more likely to record a fight than render aid. They were more likely to record a fight than actually stopping and de-escalating the situation. And de-escalation and conflict resolution is a skill. And if that's not being applied in their households, if that's not being applied at school, or we're not having policies and procedures to handle discipline, handle these type of issues with fidelity, well, they're going to do the exact same thing in the street. So what I want to show you, though, obviously, I'm not going to show you the video of the shooting, but that does exist, folks. But I want to show you the video of the fight that was released by the Tampa police hours before the shooting. And I'm going to bring up this point. So it's right. What's it titled? There we go. So my question is all of these people at the park, all of these people out here, and this was hours before the shooting, all of these people at the park, I want to know. I'm flabbergasted. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I just that. Let's move on. How are the children? The video speaks for itself. My wife on here talking about, so ma'am, I know you're on a serious topic, but I just realized, is this MAC lipstick on your cheeks? No, it's not MAC. Okay. It is what's your Star Wars line? I can't think of the name right now. Anywho, so she want to talk about, listen, and the reason why I have makeup under my eyes and on my lips is because, right, she tried me. But the reason why I have this under my eyes is because I'm trying to figure out when these people are going to go to war for our kids. Lip bar. Thank you. Lip bar. I want to know when our people are going to go to war for our kids. All of these kids out here, they participating, they all out here, this, that, and the third. I mean, who's going to go to war for our kids? Who? Because all of this stuff taking place where, y'all want to advocate to have black men in leadership. Where were the black men to say, hey, put the guns down? What is taking place? And this was hours before the shooting. And then they recorded it. And this is on social media. And help. But okay. So then, you see the kids out here fighting, and you see all of this stuff taking place, and now another young king is shot. Okay, this is another young king shot. And there was just another young king arrested for murdering a 20-year-old. Okay, this is all within the same week, folks. This is all within the same week of our young kings and queens being shut down. And I just want to know, when is enough? When are people going to step up and fight for our kids instead of fighting for roles and titles and all of this foolishness, when we have kids literally losing their lives during a pandemic, mind you, when we're supposed to be staying at home? But let's get there. So then what came across is on Instagram 11 hours ago. So not only are, the children fighting, but you got adults in here and you got little children participating in it too. So let's go ahead and show you this. Okay. And the only reason why I'm showing you this is to bring awareness to this situation, because I just really don't. This is Instagram, folks. This is publicly posted on Instagram. This is what took place in Tampa 11 hours ago. Let's play it.
You know them? Uh-huh. Which one you know?
Eat, Renee.
Which one you know? Lord, she just hit the shade.
So you have little children that are out here during this quarantine, and they are fighting the adults. They are kicking, they are pulling hair, and they are doing everything else. And before people have selective outrage about this situation, this is the same nonsense that takes place at school, where children haven't been held accountable because people want to fluff up the numbers, because parents don't want to take ownership, and all of this type of stuff. This is what's taking place on social media. And I do not dare to send you guys to World Star Hip Hop so you could see the foolishness on that platform. This conversation today is dedicated to my people, the people in the community, because again, my question remains is, who are your children looking up to? Because the children have been desensitized and this has been normalized. And if you go back to the comments, you see people laughing and praising that this is okay, and celebrating the girl with the purple bonnet, saying that she's throwing hands. This is nothing that should be celebrated. She needs to be throwing these books and reading these books and talking about education and educating children to go beyond just fighting. But my question is, how do you guys expect teachers to deal with stuff like this when this is taking place in the classroom every single day? And teachers have been talking about this, and then now all of a sudden, now COVID-19, we're not opening school anytime soon. So I just hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm realistic. We have all of this busing issues because of the desegregation and the issues that have taken place in Hillsborough County well before this COVID-19 situation. So how are the children going to get to school? Well, are they going to be, temperature checked and everything else before they get on the bus? Because if they get on a bus and there's someone that has COVID-19, guess what? That whole bus gonna have to be quarantined, including the bus driver. And according to what's taking place, I don't know if there's gonna be enough time for, or money to allow these bus drivers to be off with pay due to them being in the crossfire, being a frontline worker with dealing with kids. And you got parents that want to send their child to school. And even before COVID-19, you had parents that sent their child to school. They were snotting and sick like a dog, but still sent them to school anyway to infect more people, to get more people sick. So I'm showing this to bring awareness to the situation that at this point, you can't blame the school system for this, because school is not here. School is out, really, because a lot of your kids have shut down. And the story that I'm going to read to you today, parents are using, the district laptops that y'all went to go pick up, but you're not making sure that your kids are turning in their assignments. And again, I go back to parents. Who does your child look up to? Because if it's not you, it's somebody else. And unfortunately, a lot of that is coming from social media, which will be my next point. But before I get deep into that, I do want to talk about school board situations, because again, I think that this is very key. I really talk about school board races because these are the people that's on the front lines fighting for your children. And at the end of the day, you must vote for someone that you can trust to advocate for your child and fight with this systemic system that is plaguing our children, that has been for centuries. The same system that has failed our parents is the same system that is constantly failing our children. So at the end of the day, I can understand why parents can't read, because they were brought into the same system where 73% of our third grade babies that recently tested in the FSA were not proficient in reading. And you got, fourth graders that are now being moved up to sixth grade, but they're not even on level. By the time that you continue to keep pushing these kids, you're going to push them out and they're going to be unmotivated, and their kids going to drop out. So you got 18-year-olds that's out here fighting in the street, and most of them are not even enrolled in school. And they should be class of 2020 celebrating the best moment of their life despite the circumstances. But we haven't really been intentional with ensuring that we do everything for them. And you got people in position that want to fight and carry on and not do what's best for the kids. So at the end of the day, I'm looking at every single person, including myself. At the end of the day, everyone in this situation has to be accountable. We have to be transparent and operate in integrity. And the whole point of this conversation is to bridge awareness for our community to understand that these people ain't going to save you. You have to save yourself and uplift yourself and realize that you got to move from survival mode to thriving mode. And that means letting some people go, letting some things go, letting some old patterns go, letting all of that stuff go that is not helping you progress and move forward. But that fighting and carrying on that's taking place, that was the same fighting and carrying on that was happening in the classroom. Now it's happening in the streets. And just like the police would arrest the kids at school when we lead our prison to pipeline, and just for any community leader that swears that our prison to pipeline is high because we have a large district. There's districts that are larger than Hillsborough County that don't lead the prison to pipeline. So before you guys start speaking about education, make sure that you have your facts, because that's also part of the problem. If you haven't had any relevant experience with dealing with our kids today and what they need now, shut up. Because at the end of the day, you're not helping the situation. You're making the situation worse. For the people that want to fight about titles and roles, but not rolling up their sleeves to get their hands dirty to do the work, shut up. Because at the end of the day, you're not helping the situation, because you want to bicker and carry on about something, but we're not even talking about the kids. The question is, how are the children? Well, our children have difficulties reading according to the stats. They're being killed and shot up out here, and they fighting and carrying on, and it's all on social media. The receipts are clear as day. So at the end of the day, I hope that you are really intentional with what's taking place, because our kids are losing. Every single day y'all want to fight and carry on, our kids are losing. These people that want to record these videos, you're part of the problem too, because you record the fights and you record the videos yelling World Star, thinking that you're going to go viral because you seeking some type of social media fame. Stop it. Because what you're doing is you're normalizing this behavior and making it okay. And this is why when, there was a situation that took place where that 3-year-old, the Tampa Bay Times felt comfortable enough to look up that man's record as a justification for him being shot. That's because you guys have normalized this situation that if there was someone getting shot, that there was something that you did first. Normalizing this behavior that's on social media, people liking it and viewing. And again, the social media platforms, they were designed to kill y'all. They were designed to destroy your minds. This is why these companies are making so much money off the black dollar and have created their own type of literature to know how to connect with the black people. Facebook has a whole study on African Americans and how they use their platform. I showed this to y'all before. So while y'all out here on social media, while y'all out here on Instagram and all these different apps, well, your children are too. And look at this comment from the church. I just received a video of a parent recording her child fighting and posting and boasting. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you guys normalize this and you guys think that this is okay. It goes viral. And then because, of how social media programs and people, it provides dopamines. Look it up. It has really altered the brain and how people think logically and reasonably. And this is why people have issues with emotional intelligence, because they're just doing things for likes and clout and views and not being intentional with what they do. Another church member, if you haven't broken up a fight or fought in middle school, then sit down, period. If you haven't did anything, mentored our kids, haven't speak life to our kids, if you haven't tried to uplift our kids, if you haven't been listen, those kids, our young kings and queens, they don't relate to the older generation. You know why? Because there's an app called TikTok that has normalized of not listening to adults, and they have created a derogatory slang for it by the name of okay boomer. I showed this to you guys before. So when the kids say okay boomer, they're not saying it to be funny. They're saying it to be derogatory. They're saying it to say that you don't know what you're talking about. This is what I'm trying to tell you. These apps have been manipulating your children because you haven't been intentional with teaching them. And if you haven't been intentional with teaching them, guess what? The kids, they learn it from somewhere else. So let's talk. I want to get to the school board stuff. I definitely got off topic. Okay, so I go back to, it's very important that we're intentional with who we select for school board, because they are on the front lines fighting for our children in this system that is institutionalized the way that it is. It was set up by design. The testing was set up by design. And again, we need people to rally together to get rid of these standardized tests, because the standardized test is part of the reason why we have issues where we are teaching to the test so our kids can perform well on the test. But then at the end of the day, our kids can't read. They're just performing to a test. They don't have no love for reading, and therefore they just do work to do work, and they don't feel motivated anymore. So again, people have selective outrage. People want to be upset. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to be honest and tell you guys the truth. This system wasn't set up for your kids. And if you rely on this system to teach your kids, you part of the problem. You need to teach your kids, because your kids out here on social media making light of slavery, which I'm going to show you at the end. But before I do that, I want to tell you about these school board races and what's happening in District 5. Now, the candidates, I have sent them information about the virtual candidate forum that will be held on June 5th, 2020. So I want to go ahead and share my screen so you can see the invitation and the literature that I sent to the candidates. Okay. Out of full disclosure and transparency, I will not be moderating the forum because I have my hands too deep into the District 5 race, and I want to make sure that it is fair, impartial. And again, me being accountable, I don't want to be the moderator of this. So I have a community member who has been in the education system, who lives in District 5, a voter in District 5, have been concerned about District 5 moderating this event. So I sent this to them. This is the invitation for all school board members in District 5 to participate. It will be held virtually, and it will be on June 5th, 2020. That is a Friday, and that will be from 7 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. It will be hosted on Teaching for the Culture's website, in addition to the social media platforms for Teaching for the Culture. So I sent them the flyer. I also sent them a letter and some of the guidelines so that they can review, and they have until the 24th to respond back to that. I did receive one response back that they said that they're in, but I need people to RSVP, and so that way we can get the media and everything involved with this, so that way the community can hear from them about what they want to do in District 5. On another note, though, again, I talk about this because I think it's important, because absolutely, anyone that wants to participate in the forum, I will be having a setup for people to ask questions and have all of that set up today, so that way people can start asking questions. I will also open up the live to where people can actually come in and ask questions if the time is allotted. I have an hour and 15 minutes set aside. So hopefully these school board members do it, because no one else has did a candidate forum for District 5 and school board. So I hope that, they say, yes, let's do it. Let's talk, because we do need to talk and have intentional conversations with education. And just so, like I said, the transparency purposes, I won't be moderating, because, I want to make sure that it's fair and that there's no bias. And as y'all know, there is somewhat of a bias, and that bias goes with Tamara Schamberger. Again, she constantly with these posts, and what I want to bring out to you is what she said. She said, I'm proud to have brought education back to the forefront in our community, moving the needle in student achievement like never before. Bold leadership, transparent leadership, real leadership, proven results. And then the hashtag is Let's Do It Again, District 5, Schamberger 2020, student achievement, and then the hashtag Out with the Old, Keep the New. Shake Washington, I sent it to your vote shakewashington@gmail.com, but I'll text you after the live to make sure you get it, okay? And that's why I wanted y'all to be on the live, so that way you guys know, because I definitely want you guys to participate. The reason why I bring this up is because now is not the time to be playing these games and having these hashtags. This hashtag was a direct shot at Shake Washington. Everybody knows it, and that's exactly what I be talking about. When we talk about, running campaigns and doing stuff with integrity, like throwing shots because of someone's age, I don't think is appropriate, but that's just my personal opinion. And while other things may come up, maybe other candidates might say other things that bring awareness, I will definitely bring it to the forefront, especially if it's something that concerns me. This concerns me because, again, this hashtag continues to throw shots at Shake Washington, and it don't even have to be all of that, okay? But that's that with the school board, and I'm gonna continue to watch this. I'm gonna continue to keep you guys updated with this race, because it's very, very important, especially in District 5. Okay. Now the next thing that I want to end you with is in regards to TikTok. The kids are on social media like never before. And I just want to let you guys know, you guys have to be intentional with this, because, what your kids are watching and what they see desensitizes them, and it normalizes behavior that is not appropriate. So we're going to take a trip to TikTok so that you guys can see some of the jokes and things that's taking place that the kids are participating in. Because you know what? There's a whole hashtag on TikTok. Look it up yourself. The hashtag is slavery, and I'm just going to play a couple of clips of what your kids are doing and what your kids are making light of slavery. And that's because we haven't taught them anything about this. We relied on the public education system to teach them about this, and we all know that that wasn't going to work. We still don't even have education regarding the cemetery at King High School and how our ancestors was buried. But there's that. But this is what's taking place online that I want to show you, so you can be intentional, so you can be like, look, you're not going to watch this on social media, and here's why, or watch it and have a conversation with your child to see what's okay and what's not. Because unfortunately, at the child's development of their brain, they're unable to determine what's real and what's not. And that's the problem. So that's the problem when they're listening to all these music lyrics, some they got murder on their mind and shoot up this and shoot up that. And then you wonder why our kids are more likely to have guns, and how they were able to get access access to all these guns at this young age? Oh, I know why. Because there's older adults that groom your children because they desire to have a family. And so, you know what? That's just what it is. That's what's taking place. So I hope that you are intentional moving forward. So the first video I want to show you is this one. Okay. And I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to play it.
Oops, my heart went.
Nigga think he bulletproof. He bulletproof. That's my.
Don't get too comfortable.
Random history.
Did you know that 10 to 20?
What basketball player is the worst slavery edition part 2? Alright, first though, we got Lance Stephenson. He's big and all, but he disrespectful. He not gonna listen to your command. You tell him to go move something, he gonna be like, nah, man, you go move yourself. Man, that boy Lance Stephenson worth 2 cents because he'll give you some 2 cents. Alright, next though, we got Tristan Thompson. He's tall and all, but he gonna try to get with your wife. You know he like them white girls, so you'll be stupid to let him on your plantation. Man, I'll give him $10. $10 good. Alright, Kevin Durant seems pretty good. He's tall. He can move those boxes for you, them tall boxes that you can't reach. But the only problem is he gonna run away. But he's not gonna run away for freedom. He gonna run away to another plantation because he's not loyal. Then when you catch him, he gonna talk about, man, they offered me more. I was more than that, man. I'll give Kevin about $50. And lastly, we got Kawhi Leonard. He'll be the perfect slave. He'll obey all your commands. He'll do everything you say. He'll be like, yes, sir. He'll even laugh at your racist jokes talking about, that boy worth about $150,000. What basketball player is the worst?
Excuse me? Excuse me? The scene starts to crumble.
Hello, I'm a king.
And it's serious. Bring the beat, life like Jorno. Young gang star flip the kill switch. Jojo, pose, pose, pose. Jojo, pose, pose. And it's serious. Bring the beat, life like Jorno. Young gang star flip the kill switch. Jojo, pose, pose, pose. Jojo, pose, pose.
So this what y'all do. I'm about to get off live, and y'all better go have conversations with your kids, and y'all go look on their cell phone and see what they doing, because this is exactly what I be talking about. I keep telling y'all about the dangers of social media. I keep telling y'all about how these apps are complicit with allowing this stuff. And this is why those 2 white kids that decided that they wanted to have that whole meme, and they got caught, and they was upset, and they was crying about, oh, I want to go to college, and you messed up my dreams, this, that, and the third. Well, these type of videos right here normalizes and allows them to be comfortable in doing this type of foolishness, because Black people, our children, are making jokes about slavery like this is all fun and games. And here's another note, okay? If you want to see some of the TikToks that your kids are doing and you don't have a TikTok account, and you want to see, well, guess what they do? The people clip it, and they make money off of this on YouTube. And it's not even the Black kids that do this. It's actually white companies that do this. They actually profit off of this. They actually get monetized on your children's TikTok. But that's a whole nother thing for another day. Not want to get too much into it. However, if you do a search on YouTube for hood TikToks, okay, that's what they label all the Black kids that's doing these trends. They call them hood TikToks. This is all on YouTube, where your kids are doing this crazy mess. They following trends and patterns. They say that they hood and all this negative connotation, and then you want to call them kings and queens, and then you want them to believe that that's what they are. All these hood TikToks that's on YouTube. Look at all this stuff, man. help. All of these kids on here, help. They making rape. I keep scrolling. It don't end. It don't end. Denise Thomas in the church said no knowledge of their culture. Exactly. Because y'all not teaching them. You're not teaching them. They out here in the streets and they out here making these racist jokes and all that. Wear the hood. I survived TikTok. Hood baby. This is on YouTube. This is the platform that your children watch. And so y'all say all of this stuff about, oh, well, my children don't watch TV. Well, they watch YouTube. And if they watch YouTube, it's way worse than TV because TV has to actually comply by laws. YouTube don't. And YouTube violates their COPPA policy still to this day. I'm still scrolling at what's on social media when you search hood TikToks and you see a whole bunch of black people in the videos. I'm still scrolling. So again, I need you to be intentional. I need you to have conversations with your children and give your children something to look up to. Because if you're not giving them something to look up to, they're going to find what to look up to somewhere else, whether that's on social media, whether it's these rappers that want to act all hard with a shoot 'em, kill, bang, bang, talk about what gangs they represent. You got kids out here throwing up gang signs and say that they've been initiated to such and such gang because their favorite rappers in the gang and they want to join it. But like I said, they done had a whole slave auction on TikTok by a young king. He done did a whole slave auction on these superstars. So again, I say check the cell phone. This is a conversation that y'all need to have immediately. This school system is not going to be able to teach your kids. The school won't be able to open up. And I'm gonna go to my last thing and I'm gonna get up out of here. Okay, so I have a segment. It started a year ago and it was titled Stories in a Student's Shoes. Okay, it started a year ago to this date. Thank you, Facebook Memories, for reminding me of this. But I started this because I wanted people to understand from children what's going on. So I want to read you a story. I posted this and this is a story. I don't feel safe at home. If I say something, I know that I'll be taken away and my siblings will be split up. My mom would never forgive me, and I hate it here. I'm tired of hearing door slams, daily cuss outs, and my mom telling me that I'm not good enough. It's like anything I do is not good enough. I take care of my siblings when she's not home. On TikTok, I saw a video that people had to stay home to fight the virus. Lately, it seems she's out more of the house than before. I clean up anytime she asks me to, and sometimes I clean up just because I don't want to hear her mouth. She comes in the house loud on the phone and rarely speaks to us, rarely asks us if we're okay or if we need anything. Most of my life, I had to teach myself, but yet she always tells me to stay in a child's place when I would ask questions. I hate it here. Being in school was my break away from home. Now this stupid COVID-19 has me stuck. I leave the house to hang out with my friends outside because they are tired of their mama too. They will be all right. We talk about our memories at school and our wish that this world would be better. I know I shouldn't leave my siblings in the house, but I'm right outside. Sometimes they would come with me to get out the house while our mom is gone. My mom uses our laptop that we got from school, and my teacher has called several times asking about my assignments. I try to rotate time between my siblings, but it seems to not be enough time to get it done. So I gave up. I can't learn like this anyway. We have no school grades or tests hanging over our heads for once. So whatever. I need to find peace in this house before I go crazy. I hope school opens up back soon because I need a safe space again. I'm going to end you with that. I really hope that you are intentional with our kids. Our kids are suffering out here. People are playing games, and our children really are in some really messed up situations. Our children are placed in some uncomfortable situations. And you know what? when we have people that continue to fight and carry on, guess who loses? Our children. And I don't dare put the camera back on my face, because you're going to see tears running from my eyes, because this is what's taking place. Our children are crying out for help. Our children are participating in things that they don't need to. And again, I keep going back to this. We got to be intentional, folks. We got to be intentional with our children. We have to be intentional with what's going on. And the author is 15 years old in middle school. So I hope that you guys are intentional, and I hope that you guys understand that this is some serious stuff out here, that our kids need a voice, and we need to listen to our kids, because they tell all of this stuff on social media. They open up on social media. They share their stories on social media, and it's the adults that find these stories and prey on your children. And I keep going back to say, and I keep going back to look at this. Our children are getting hurt. Our children are dying. Our children don't feel worthy. Our children are upset. Our children don't have a safe space. Our children are in messed up situations. And you have some children that are in the foster care system, that they're in homes that are dangerous for them, but they can't do anything about it because of COVID-19. This is what's really happening. But y'all want to fight and carry on and play these games, and our kids are dying. So with that, I'm not going to cry on Al Gore's internet, but I'm just letting you know that our kids they are worthy. They deserve everything. And for the love of God, for these people that call themselves community leaders that haven't did nothing with our kids, shut the hell up. Because what you're doing is you're messing this up, and you're impeding on the progress that we need to make in our children. All of a sudden, you want to have selective outrage. You want to become relevant. Y'all want to create websites, and y'all want to do this and do that, and talk about this and do that, but y'all haven't did none with our kids. Them kids don't know you. Them kids don't respect you. Some of these people neglected these kids. And like I said, at the end of the day, I pray for our kids, and I'm going to continue to raise awareness. I'm going to continue to use my voice. And no matter how many shots that are thrown at me, no matter how many community leaders got problems with me because I'm speaking up, at the end of the day, I have a purpose. And when I saw the situations that was taking place at Jennings Middle School, when I heard the stories from the kids and what they dealing with, and when I saw the neglect and people that looked like me that didn't want to do everything for our kids, sit silent, say nothing, did nothing, keep that same energy, because the people who want to do the work are going to do the work. And if you are a complacent gatekeeper, move the hell on, because our kids deserve better. And I'm tired of our young kings and queens being shot up out here, and y'all don't want to say nothing or do nothing about it. I love y'all. Y'all have a great week. And I'll see you the next time I got some tea.
Please keep my name about your